recording. We are live. Nope, wrong one. There we go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to T3G.
Hold on.
This is
Girlfriend calling. I'm sorry. Guess I'm gonna answer her.
you should.
Hello?
This is
Hey, babe. Okay. Yeah, I don't know, depending on what's going on with them. Are you still recording or?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna step into the other room. Don't look at me like that.
Didn't sound like a life or death problem.
Well, Travis did go into the ER for
Who else, Travis?
her son. Eldest son, Travis.
With the
Yeah, with the 3 kids.
no. What's the one I know?
TJ. TJ's the one you
That's
know.
the one.
He's the
That's what happens when you dating a mom.
yeah.
You got kids and stuff.
Yeah. Either way.
Anyway,
Had some problems.
he alive though, right?
Yeah, he's fine.
Good for him. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Tangents Podcast. This is episode 56. We're going a little outside of the box this week. We're going a little crazy. We're going a little wild. We're going to talk about some stuff that's probably going to have some people feeling a type of way about it, but we are going to. This is what we do. This is the conversations we have. We're going to start with something. We're going to start with some lighter fare and talk about what the fuck network error. Why don't you eat a dick? Why don't you eat a fucking dick? No, we're not off the air. You're fucking going live right now. I'll kill you. Fucking. Come on, guys. Caffeine. I love you guys, but I need you guys to be on board. None of these network error nonsenses. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to start with some lighter fare and talk about PlayStation 5 was just announced. Holiday 2020. How do you feel about that, Dan? How do you feel about PlayStation 5?
It feels like the last generation of like Xbox and PlayStation came out like last year. Like it's still,
as far as like the refresh with the Pro and the X, the Xbox One X.
Mm-hmm. And so
that was recent. That's a kilo. Let's get a little clink, man. Let's get a little clink. I don't usually drink on the podcast, but here it is. Not quite a tequila sunrise, just some orange juice and some Milagro tequila. Milagro.
yeah. So what is it now? 4, 5?
This is technically 6. I mean, the last ones were just an iteration. Still, it was still an Xbox One and it's still a PS4. Just like a better version. I guess you could say kind of like when they did the PS4 Slim or the PS3 Slim, Xbox 360 Slim. But I feel like the hardware didn't change on those. I feel like the processor and everything stay the same.
Yeah, I'm not an expert on it by any stretch, but I feel like the case got smaller.
The case got smaller. Maybe the cooling solution. The cooling solution definitely got better because I know with the Slims, when they went to the black vertical design on the 360s, that eliminated a lot of the issues that they had with the red ring.
The red ring of death.
Yeah, man. That was an era.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily feel like.
I just don't know what else is there. I know they're going
like
discless, so that's
4K
cute. They have 4K now.
Stuff. Like that's what I mean.
I just don't know what else they're bringing.
Well, I mean, like VR has made a comeback, and
VR is getting bigger.
That, there's been some YouTube
PS5
videos out there.
Features. Let's see what the PS5 is bringing. Backward compatibility for what? I mean, probably just PS4. Certainly not older games.
Okay,
Hold on. PS. No, this is gamers expect. No. I'm like, this is not right. I want to see the actual. There we go. PS5 versus PS4. Perfect. All new GPU, CPU, SSD, backwards compatibility. Oh, ray tracing. 8K. 8K. Got to get those Ks up. 3D audio. Bleh. That's ugly as shit. I hope that's not it. There was that one ridiculous design that looked like a fucking spaceship, and I was like, it should be that. It should 100% be that. But I feel like it probably is this.
Okay, so I'm not really in the tech world. Explain ray tracing to me. What is ray tracing?
In computer graphics, ray tracing is unique for generating an image by tracing the path of light through pixels in an image. No fucking clue. High degree of visual realism. That's where we're at.
Okay, so the games are going to get more realistic.
Makes them prettier.
Okay. So, I'm down for that, but...
Who has a 4K TV? Do you have a 4K TV, Dan?
No, I don't have a 4K TV.
Do your parents have a 4K TV?
No.
I know they usually have a lot of nice stuff. The big TV in the living room, that's still 1080p.
Yeah, not 4K.
I'm saying, who has a 4K TV? And at that point, in reality, most people who are 4K gaming are 4K gaming on smaller screens.
Well,
so then if it's 8K, there's only so much physical screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've seen 4K in person. I've seen 8K in person. It's very pretty. I don't see the
Well, that's, we got into a time there where, Xbox 360, I think it was 1080.
Yeah.
Where, consoles and accessories were driving TV sales.
That's true.
So, in order to get the most out of your Xbox 360, you needed
an HD TV.
An HD TV.
For sure.
So now I think we've gotten past that.
Yeah,
but
I just don't think people are buying
people
4K and
that are gonna get a 4K. Most people have not, at least that I know, have not upgraded to a 4K television yet. And the next thing on the horizon is the 8K television, and then pretty soon it's just going to be a fucking window that you're looking through.
Well, I mean, you've got the LG, I think it's a 4K, the wallpaper TV. Mm-hmm. It is literally paper thin. But it is crazy looking.
How expensive is it?
It's pretty expensive, but I mean, just like when 4K came out, 4K was $5,000 when it came out for a 50-inch.
Well, I
now
know
you can get a 70-inch for $1,000.
The prices are going to come down.
100%. I'm more interested in implementation, right? There was at CES, I think it was this year at CES, maybe it was last year, one or the other. There was a TV that rolled up, so all it was the thing on a stand, and it rolls up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got a support brace on the back that expands as it rolls up, and it's this thin ass, tiny ass TV, but then when you're off, it rolls down, and it's just a box.
Well, I mean, these are obvious advantages in places that, as living spaces get smaller, this housing crisis that we are in. I mean,
which can we talk about that for a second? I think that's bullshit.
Well, I mean, when you're paying $1,000 for a 600 square foot studio apartment,
right? There's that. The price of housing is definitely very, very high. I just think that the idea that there is not enough homes is ludicrous.
We just don't have enough money to put people in them.
See, I think that's bullshit. I think if you give somebody an address, you give them an opportunity to have a job.
Well, yeah, you have to have an address to get a job.
If you give somebody an address, and we've talked about this at length, I think if we were just to give housing to people, fuck this $1,000 a month thing with the fucking, what is it? What do they call it? Guaranteed income, universal income, universal basic income. Nah, give me healthcare. I'll do healthcare, universal healthcare. We all pay into it. We all fucking have healthcare. We have the same healthcare. Nobody gets bullshit other shit. We all have good healthcare. That's it. Like, we all pay into it. Sometimes you get sick and I'm paying for it, but it doesn't matter because sometimes I get sick and you're paying for it when you're healthy. It doesn't fucking matter. That's the whole purpose of it. But, like, there's a lot of people talking about that shit on a different level where they're like, oh, bullshit, whatever. Like, no, we should all get the best healthcare. Not like everyone's talking about. Oh, there's no options. Like this is socializing in, and you're gonna take away options. Who cares? Who cares about not having 45 options for healthcare? It's complex enough when I have options. I have great options, and it's hard enough to figure those out when you have the options. If everyone just got great healthcare, and you just paid realistically, I pay. It's like $300 a month for me and my wife. If my $300 turned into $500, but everyone could have it, I'm good.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the subject to speak to it. Truth be told.
I mean, it depends.
You can call that a cop out if you want, but it's true. I don't.
But just like, do you think that that's something that we should that should be had? Like, do you think that's something that should be had, just like a universal healthcare where you don't have to worry about can you afford fucking healthcare? Like, if you go, like, people avoid going to the doctor because it costs money. It costs a lot of money. I have a $20 copay.
Well,
I've gone to a therapist 4 times in the last month. I have less than $100 in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't see a problem with it, but, as I said, I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm not, but it sounds good, and, like, I think, yeah, if we had access to healthcare, like, what could be wrong with that?
Exactly. That's exactly my point, Dan.
I get to live though.
You're like I don't see where this is wrong. I don't see where living longer and healthier and not having to be sick and not having to have to take that time off work. I don't see how this is a bad thing. I just don't, but whatever. People are arguing about dumb shit like that all the time. But what I'm saying is, give me universal health care. Andrew Yang is one of the Democratic candidates. He's trying to do universal basic income, and that's $1,000 a month guaranteed once you turn 18. And I'm on here like, yeah, but you can take that $1,000 and blow it. That's why I think if we give somebody, so you have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Mm-hmm. At the base, before you can get to anything else, at the base is food, shelter, and clothing. Mm-hmm. Clothing's a little loose because that's, I don't know. You can get free.
You get issued an orange jumpsuit, and
I feel like there's ways to like give out free clothing. I think we give away clothing to fucking Goodwill all the time. I think if you give somebody basic nutrition, 3 meals a day, protein shake, nutrient shake. You get all the vitamins, minerals, everything you need out of those 3 shakes. You want some McDonald's? I'm not telling you can't get McDonald's, but now you got to have a job to pay for McDonald's. We give you a place to sleep. It's not a nice place. It's not couches and sofas and televisions. It is a bed. It is a toilet room, like in a bathroom, where you can take a shit, take a shower, and that's it. Not a lot of luxury, but it is an address. It is a place for you to sleep. I think that makes people, it takes a huge burden off people's shoulders. Because people who are paying $1,000 a month for a 600 square foot apartment, that's $1,000 less they're paying. They can pay off bills and make a move. You can make a move in 6 months. If you have a $6,000 credit card debt and that's what's holding you back from getting a car so that you can get a job farther away, or a better job, or moving so that you can get a better job. 6 months of living in a smaller space, let's say it's 300 square feet, like it's not a lot of space, it's 300 square feet, but then you do that for 6 months, you pay your bills off, and now you can make a move to better your life. I think that's how people could start businesses. You have ideas, but fuck, I gotta pay bills, I got this, I got student loans, whatever. When you take off the housing and you take off the food, so I mean, people will still contribute to the economy by going to buy shit, because people are going to buy shit. Like, there's no way around that. Like, comic book stores are still a thing, and we went through an economic crisis. Like, we went through a period of time where motherfuckers just didn't have houses. They couldn't buy houses, and people couldn't sell houses. Like, but comic book shops are still a thing. Liquor stores are still a thing. Like, people find ways to pay for the things they want. The wants will always get money. People are never going to not find ways to pay for vices. Fucking gambling is still a thing. Like, huge. Gambling's bigger than it was. They're allowing it in more places now. Like, and people spend money on that. People spend lots of money on that because of escapism, a hope of getting more out of it. So I'm not worried about the economy and like a hit to the economy, because at the end of the day, my feeling is that person who is now paid off on their credit card can maybe pay down their student loans, and now you're 2 years out of college. Yeah, you're living lean, but you're two years out of college. Maybe your loan's paid off. Maybe you're debt free 2 to 5 years out of college.
Oh, that would be
exactly. Just the thought of right. Just the thought of that is amazing, because people just don't have that opportunity. Because now you have to pay for food, you have to pay for lodging, you have to pay for all these basic necessities before you even get to the fucking debt, before you even get to the loans, and then you still have on top of that your kind of daily, everyday necessity costs. You have a phone bill. You have, other shit that you have to pay for. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if you were to take that burden off of, and it's not like we don't have the fucking infrastructure or the money. The shit is plentiful. It's really just a matter of finding the right companies to put in that investment. For me, it's like, I would say, if you have a construction company that owns property, there's a million buildings in Chicago that can be converted into a free living space. Now, obviously, there has to be rules. There have to be, like, I would say, on-site facilities. Main floor could be, I was thinking, a gym, like a fitness facility that is a paid thing for everyone that doesn't live there. So you could introduce a nice high-end fitness facility, and that's where the showers are, right? Like, you have a private shower down there. Or even if let's say you don't want to put private showers into each space, that's where the showers are, right? You have a nice, well-equipped, full featured fitness facility where people are going to come. They're going to pay their $30 a month fee, and that's what pays for the building. Like, there's ways to do it.
I'm sure there is. Either way, back to the TVs.
Back to the TVs.
That was a tangent.
That was a hella tangent. But, so what I'm saying is, maybe somebody wants an 8K TV. They live in one of these for 6 months. And now they have $6,000. They can buy an 8K TV for their PS5. But the question is, do we need more realistic shit?
Like, I don't feel like the Xbox One is tapped out as far as, like,
I think 360 games are still good.
I think that, well, I mean, like, I don't have, my finger to the pulse of the gaming industry either. I mean, I play video games and enjoy them. But, like, how much bigger is the game going to be? Like, there's some games that are,
I can't even imagine how big an 8K game would be.
Like a stupid number of hours, for a game.
And that, to me, like, if any of these consoles ship with anything less than 2 terabytes, it's a slap in the face.
Well, yeah, that's another thing is that I have my day one Xbox One.
500 gigs.
Yeah, with 500 gigs, and I thought that was a lot at the time, but I only.
Because why would
five.
you need 500 gigabytes of storage, and then you found out every single game installs 20 to 50 gigs of data on your shit?
Yeah, so I got 5 games on my rig, and of course, as new games come out and I get new games, I delete old ones that I don't really play.
Right, so then if you want to replay the Master Chief Collection, now you got to reinstall that 40 gigs.
Well, that's what bites me in the ass, because my friends are like, oh, well, we've got these huge, like, 4 terabyte, external hard drives, and we're going to play this game that we haven't played in, 7 months, or,
right.
Yeah, or even
they still haven't installed.
Even 2 years, because they have it installed and they can, and I'm like, God damn it. I can't.
It's ridiculous, and like I said, to ship them with 500 gigs drives to begin with was a slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that was ridiculous. So if they ship with anything under 2 terabytes, I'm gonna be genuinely upset. I mean, I have no interest in buying a new console anytime soon. Mm-hmm. I have way too many fucking games for the ones I have. What do I use my Xbox for, Dan? We watch DC Universe on it. We watch YouTube on it occasionally. Netflix. It is what they wanted it to be for me. They wanted it to be this like family entertainment thing, and that's what it is. It's so very rarely a gaming console. It's dumb. It's ridiculous. I just don't see the need for another generation of consoles. I think they needed to really bear down on this idea of a modular system. Mm-hmm. They're not going to deliver on that. I feel like all of the talk of a modular system is gone. It's died down because they're not going to deliver on it. There was a lot of talk about, oh, we're going to do this modular, and the new Xbox is going to be a modular system, and it's going to be fucking eternal. You're just going to be able to swap out parts. And I'm like, well, that's a PC. You're just building a PC with a specific operating system. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that, but call a fucking spade a spade. Don't tell me you're inventing something. You're making a computer. It's already a fucking computer. Like, it's really not anything that's new. Like, you're not developing some new mystery product. It's a fucking PC. It's a PC, and maybe you make it in such a way that it's all... There used to be a computer that was like that, where everything was kind of in its own enclosure, and all you did was you took off the top or the case, and you just, the pieces were just... They were all kind of their own module. You just fucking take it out and put a new one in. Mm-hmm. Like, the modules look the same, but the new one has more shit in it. It's bigger drive or whatever. Like, it's like Legos, but for computers. And I'd be fine with that.
They're not going to do that.
Executed right. But all they're trying to do is they're trying to go smaller and slimmer, and they're not going to do modular. It's smaller and slimmer. It's not possible. Mm. Like, you look at any PC that's upgradable, it's big. Upgradable computers are large. There are not very many... Mm. Although I will give, there's a $300 Acer laptop, $300, that you can upgrade the storage and the RAM on. And I'm like, I kind of fucking want one of those. I want to spend $300, and I want to put an M.2 SSD in it. I happen to have one right here, actually. I put an M.2 SSD in it, I have a full-size SSD, and make that a fucking 5 terabyte if I want to. And then I can put fucking 32 gigs in it. Eventually. Like, I don't have to spend the money right away, and it's not a $3,000 system that I'm building. It's a $300 system. And, like, the case is meant for, like, one of the fancier ones, too. It's, like, a case they reuse for higher-end units. So the case is actually nice. Yeah, it was very interesting. It was a very interesting video I watched. But, like, I was watching that, and I was like, that's almost like a genuinely modular laptop. Mm. Like, the Alienwares, I think they're doing the replaceable GPUs again. The Alienwares a few years ago, they had a replaceable GPUs, but they were literally 2 GPUs. It was the one it came with, or the one higher end one.
Yeah, Alienware's I'm woefully out of the PC gaming end of things. They're gaming laptops, correct?
Yeah, Alienware is a gaming brand. Dell bought them out years ago.
Okay.
So it is Dell's brand now, but yeah, they put out a solid. They put out a solid Alienware laptop for CES. Mm-hmm. They put out a great Lenovo laptop this year. That was like super high end, Vega graphics, like heavy, like really solid fucking, and you can take it apart and put new shit in it. Even the CPU is like breakable. And I was like, that's what's up. Like that's where it's really at. It's thicker, like it's a big boy. It's not a mobile fucking thing, you know. And at that point, I'm almost like, it is just mobile enough for you to like be able to take it somewhere, but it's not. It's just not mobile enough for you to do it every day. Like if it's like if you had it, you could come here and we could have a LAN party easily, without issue. I'm gonna kill you, dog. Go lie down. Georgia, go lie down. Like nothing's happening. She just gets up, walks around, like just go lie down. But like, it's definitely not light enough where you could like backpack that shit every day to work or school. Like it's too fucking heavy. It's like 5 pounds. Like it's a fucking heavy laptop. But like, it's beastly. Like it's nice. It's good looking. I think it was a Lenovo. It was either a Lenovo or Asus. But it wasn't like a Republic of Gamers one. It wasn't an ROG one. It was just like an Asus. Yeah, it was a really nice unit. Yeah, come to think of it, I think it was Asus because Linus did a thing about it where he got free use of it in a room without supervision, so he took it apart. Like the Asus guy left the room and he's like, that was a mistake, so they start fucking disassembling the bitch. I was like, if y'all didn't watch the channel before you gave it to him, like, I don't know. It's like, this is your own fault. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think we need a new generation of consoles.
Not just yet. I mean,
I just really think we just go to PC gaming. Like PC, man.
Like, there was a time there when like you would buy, I think it was like Final Fantasy, back when they were on CD-ROM instead of Blu-rays, and like you would get like 9 discs.
Final Fantasy 7 was 7 discs.
And it was like, all right, you know, so like now maybe we need more storage space on these discs.
Yeah, capacity. I get that, 100%. Can you imagine, by the way, Final Fantasy 7 is being re-released? It's remastered. It's HD. It's like it's a rebuilt game. It's a new game.
Yeah.
It was on 7 discs before. How many fucking discs is gonna be on this time?
This is like 14 discs.
It'll be on 14. It'll be on 14 4K Blu-rays.
Oh geez.
They'll be like, shit. Be $120 game for the 3 discs. The first 3 discs. First session. Session 1. $100. The fuck? It's gonna be. I'll be honest with you. That's one I'm genuinely excited for. I don't really get excited about games. I have so many fucking games on Steam. Finally played through them, by the way. I finished the entire library. I've touched every single game. Decided, made calls. I found one that I'm actually. I tripped on a mod for it. I was searching for information on a Kickstarter that I backed, Pacific 201. It's a Star Trek fan-made film. And I searched Pacific 201, and it took me to a Starship build in this game called Space Engineers. Which I'm like, why does that sound familiar? I look up my library. I have it. I played it. I put it in too hard because I put it in my too hard category because I couldn't fucking figure it out. But I think I picked something other than the story mode. So it was just like me in the vastness of space and no context. So like I had no fucking clue what to do.
No mission, no.
Yeah, no, it was just like here's a station with some shit on it. Here's a couple ships.
Do your thing.
Do what you do. And I was like, what the fuck do I do? Like, what is this game about? So I replayed it because I downloaded the mod. I still don't know how to access the mod. I downloaded like 3 or 4 mods. I still don't know how to get to them, but like I saw that there was a story mode, so I started playing it, and it's got like a little bit of a thing, like a little bit of a story. It's like fun and engaging enough. It's got a little bit of combat, like kind of just like if you were an engineer and you just like got caught up in some political shit, and now you kind of have to just deal with it.
Or like kind of like life in deep space, which is, you know, yeah, I'm just mining this asteroid, and like these 2 corporations got into a tiff, and now there's corporate mercenaries fucking landing on the rock. trying to kill me.
That's what Elite Dangerous is, I think. Elite Dangerous is like a full bore space sim. I was talking to our buddy Big Smoke. He's a fan. He's a watcher of the channel. He played. He got to the end, and he sent me a clip of this. There's this sound at the end of the universe. Mm-hmm. He said it took him like a week to get there, and I'm just like, that's incredible. Like, what the fuck do you mean it took you a week of just flight, like of doing nothing else, just flight?
Picked a direction and went, like...
Yeah. And he got to the end, and there's just, like, a sound. And people were, like, making this whole big thing about it, like it was a creepy thing, and... But it was just like, he's like, this is what it is. It's like, this is what's out there. And he just digs the shit out of it. He spent so many hours, and there's economy, and there's pirates, and, you know, all sorts of shit. You buy different size ships and do different shit with it. He sent me a link to like a new ship he got, and I was like, "That's a sexy fucking shit. Like, that's a good looking." Like, I'm like, "Fuck!" If I had the time, like, if I had the mental, just to like dedicate that much time to it, that'd be super fun. It's very much like you're building Star Trek, like, and I'm like, shit. And I don't play long games like that. I spent like 3 hours on Star Trek Online the other day, and I was like, "Fuck!" Like, I spent so much fucking time on just one thing. It was just like, and it was like. Very much not productive. I love the game, like, but like
I like long games because I like a good story, and like in order to tell a good story, I don't think any one. Well, let's put it this way: video games intentionally tell short stories so that they can bust it up into a series. Like, for instance, Call of Duty, where we're on like Call of Duty 19 now.
Right.
And, you know...
I still gotta play 3. I still have never played 3.
Yeah, it's...
Because the new Modern Warfare follows that.
Because
what's-his-face is in it? The dude.
Price.
Price is in it, yeah.
So, I don't know where that one fits in the timeline. I have to
He didn't die in 3, did he?
No, he didn't die in 9.
He was the only survivor.
Yeah, Soap bought it.
Soap bought it in 3. Because he was alive in 2.
Yes.
2 took a while. 2 took a while for sure. But it was like, by the end of it, like, realistically it didn't. It was 6 hours. It was 6 hours on medium or whatever. No, I take that back. It was 6 hours on hard, because that was when I was all like, if you're gonna fucking do it on hard. Because you couldn't do hardcore. You had to beat hard to get hardcore.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was 6 hours on hard. But I couldn't get the final thing where you're on that plane. I couldn't get it. I could never get it. I definitely couldn't get it on hard. And I was like, I don't want to fucking play through the whole thing again. Remember, that was a controversial game because it was
well, yeah, because
the airport scene.
Yeah,
that was a fucking, because that was like the early days of that stuff. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I want to play through 3. Like, I genuinely enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the story in 1. I enjoyed the story in Modern Warfare, Modern Warfare 2. Like, so I want to play, but it's like, once I play that, I'm going to get rid of all 3 of those games. I'm not replaying them. I just got, with PS Plus, PlayStation Plus, I got Darksiders 3 for free. So it's like, hey, I have all 3 Darksiders now, but I'm like, I kind of want to replay 1 because it was so fucking good. I would definitely play it on easy just so I don't have to deal with.
Yeah,
It took 25 hours on Apocalyptic, dude. I'm just not interested in spending a whole 24-hour day.
Yeah, that's like most games that I pick up, I'll play the first playthrough on easy for the story.
Yeah,
and
I think I'm just playing
that,
everything on easy from now on.
If I'm trying to challenge myself, then I'll go through on the other difficulty levels. But like,
if they do this,
call me a casual, whatever, fuck off.
If they for real put out Master Chief Collection on PC,
I'm going play through that on easy.
I'm going through easy. I played it on. I started it on hard, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I couldn't even get past. You remember? I'm stuck on the ship.
Oh yeah,
I'm stuck in that.
You got that checkpoint, but you got no ammo, and the flood is right on your ass.
That's 2. That's in my original. No, that's in my original playthrough of 2. That's on my 360 still. Like, that's my original playthrough of 2. I'm never going to finish that. No, so that's why when I started from the beginning, I started with 1 on Master Chief Collection, and I started on hard, and I couldn't get past... Shit, I don't remember. There was a... No. There's a thing in 1 where you round a corner, and there's like a 3-tier thing, and they're all like kind of everywhere, and it's you and the squad, and you got to take out the whole thing, and it's like they keep coming. I couldn't fucking survive. Like, I couldn't, not even like to get almost done, I couldn't survive. But then when I tried starting it again on easy, and it was so mind-numbingly like condescending, like turn left and right to like, I'm like, what the fuck? I know how to use the fucking controls.
So yeah, what you do is you put it on easy, you turn off the tutorial.
That's a thing?
Yeah.
What the shit? God damn it. What the fuck am I doing? I'm wasting my goddamn time on this. Yeah, because then I put it on medium, but then I got stuck in that fucking... when I got to the Covenant ship, I got stuck in the fucking hangar. Remember, I think you had to beat the hangar for me.
I think I did.
Because it was like they kept coming with the fucking invisible dudes, and I kept getting fucking sorted to death.
Well, yeah, that's because, like, I don't know why, but you can't see those guys coming. Like,
no.
Like, you in particular. Like, I see, like, a shimmer in the background. I'm like, oh, there he is. And, like, you're like, where is he?
I don't understand. They're invisible. So let's pivot on, I guess, kind of on the controversy idea. Let's pivot to Ellen Degeneres was seen at a Dallas Cowboys game. I think it was Dallas Cowboys. Sitting next to former President George W. Bush.
W.
Who at this point seems like a joy in comparison.
I'd much rather sit in a room with him than the Orange Man.
But yeah, apparently they're hanging. They're watching a game. There's a clip of them laughing, and people are losing their shit. Granted, he had some policies and some. Granted, there was the overall there was some decisions, some things said, and general policy shit that was downright not good. Go ahead and touch base with her. See, that's the second time she called. That's mom.
That's the mom's.
Tell mom I said hi.
Hello? Hey, Mama. I'm over at Delabor's. Is everything okay?
Hi, Mom. I gotta go see them. I haven't seen them in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're hanging out, they're chit-chatting, and yeah, apart from the fact that he had some general policy things that people did not like, and I certainly did not like, specifically, he had policies in place about gay marriage, against gay marriage specifically, and people are saying that because of those policies, that he had those policies, that he doesn't get to hang out with celebrities.
I don't know, like, does he still hold those,
Right?
like...
Are we in his head? Is he got a podcast where he's still spouting the same shit? Like, because I feel like we would hear about that. So then now we're making assumptions about a man and his current beliefs and opinions based on more than 10 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the man has not been of political relevance.
Yeah, he has not been a factor since 2007 and a half.
Yeah.
Like...
And so, well, I mean, Ellen said it herself, which is, I mean, she's friends with people of all different beliefs. I mean, you and I don't see eye to eye on everything. And, you know, it's, like...
But what we do, and I think a lot of people don't, is we have conversations.
Well, yeah, that's
We
true.
have discussions. And I think that is a fundamental problem in this country now.
Well,
is that
yeah,
people
it's
are
like, okay, you see that, and you're that way about it, then, you know, we'll just degenerate this into a fuck you contest.
Yeah, it's come down to it's Jedi or Sith. You don't get to choose anything else. You don't get to be anything besides Jedi or Sith. And that means regardless of what happens, you're at fucking enemies. And I'm like, yeah, but there's gray shades. There's other shit. Like, there's other... Like, we may be saying the same... We may have the same intent, but our words may be different. It's there's not enough conversation on every subject line that's currently being talked about.
Yeah.
Everybody's hardlining. I mean, just locally, we've got this whole thing with the Haymarket. I don't know if you heard.
Yeah, it was.
We were on TV.
Yes,
I was on TV again. But no, it's very much like it feels like the people who are hardline against it are just against it regardless of what happens. They don't want any new information. They have the information that feeds their perspective, and they don't want any new information. They just don't want it to happen because of the information they have.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think it was Bill Burr that was like, yeah, people get on the internet and they look up statistics, and then they go to www.imright.com, and they find statistics that support their point of view, and then that's all they fucking care about.
Exactly.
And
I mean, it's like we talked about this with gun control, right? We talk about there are incredible statistics, and you can compare shit very heavily, right? There are more regulations on vaginas than there are on guns.
I don't know about that.
Right.
Either way, that's a conversation for a different.
But that's right. But that's an example, right? But that's stuff that hardcore feminists. That's an argument that they use, and they may have that right in certain states. They may have that right in certain perspectives, like depending on what kind of guns they're looking at, because there are different legal statutes for different kinds of guns and different kinds of people regarding guns. There is no, here is the rule set for everyone for every type of gun. That doesn't exist.
Actually, kind of does.
How so?
Okay, well, there's the NFA, which the National Firearms Act.
Okay.
Which, like, you cannot have a shotgun with a barrel shorter than 18 inches, or a rifle with a barrel shorter than 16 inches.
Okay.
It also, like, you can't have a full auto. But
I didn't realize that was. I mean, I suppose that makes sense, but I didn't realize that was a federal thing.
Yes, it's there are machine guns in circulation that you can buy. You just
how does that make sense?
Okay, so when
belt fed, right?
Well, there's belt fed, and there's like AR-15s that are
really
like full auto. Yeah, they up until 1986 you could buy them.
Oh, so because they already exist.
Yeah, and so after 1986, you could not manufacture a new machine gun for civilian sales.
I see.
So all of the ones that are out there,
I see what you're saying. So it'd be a private sale essentially, or even a sale through a dealer, but still.
Well, you can't privately sell a machine gun.
Really? Like, you have to go through a dealer?
You have to go through a dealer.
So someone has to know that you're in possession of a fully automatic weapon.
You have to be fingerprinted by the ATF.
See, I feel like what you're about to describe is what every transaction for a gun should be.
Yeah, but like, I don't like I think these are overreaching for just like your standard. Like, if you're gonna go and buy a handgun or a shotgun to protect your house. I
think a single round, or let's say a double barrel shotgun, because those can't hold more than 4, right? At max.
They can only hold 2.
Oh, I thought there was ones that could hold 2 per chamber.
No.
Okay.
There's a shotgun that's a really cool shotgun from like Chiapa or something like that has 3 barrels. And,
that's cool. But I mean, like, I think for a double barrel shotgun, a non-cartridge loading shotgun where you can hold up to 4 rounds, and for revolvers, I think it should basically be open season. I feel like those are very easily home defense, very easily, like, it's damn near impossible to be a mass shooter with that shit. I'm not saying it's not possible, I'm just saying it's difficult. It's you gotta be a fucking marksman, and you gotta be, and I feel like if you buy a certain type of shotgun ammo, that's a let me scan your ID for this kind of thing. Because I feel like with a Ford card, and I'm not talking about, I think for certain types of shit, and we've talked about this before, I think there needs to be a registry. People need to know that you have a gun. It has to be registered in your name. And we've talked about this. If it's involved in a crime and you did not report it stolen or missing, that's on you. Sorry. If my rifle shows up at a crime scene and I didn't tell somebody about that shit, I didn't know that it was gone, I don't get to own guns anymore. Maybe I'm not culpable in the murder, but maybe I still have a fine. Maybe there's still a repercussion that I need to face. And I'm willing to cop to that, because if I am not aware enough to know that my weapon is missing, I don't fucking deserve it.
I disagree on certain points. As we've hashed this over many times, not on, podcast, but I think the government should know, like, what you have. I don't think the government should listen in on, your conversations and shit like that. I'm a very tinfoil hat like that.
It's not even tinfoil hat. Like, that's a thing that happened. Like, we now know that that's a thing that happened. Like, and it's still happening. They're probably watching this right now. I am at a point where I don't give a fuck. If they decide tomorrow that podcasts are illegal, I'm gonna start writing a blog. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna release this on a blog in 10-second clips if that's what it takes. You know what I mean? Like it to me, I am partly, not to say fully, but I am partly of the mentality of, if you have nothing to hide, then you don't need to worry if they're listening.
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
if you're not trying to do something nefarious, who the fuck cares? Do you care that they know that you argued with your wife about if you cleaned the fucking whatever?
I'm parsnicky to you about the whole thing, so yes, I fucking
care.
No.
There is that part of me that, like, fully believes in my rights of privacy, but I also am fully willing to sacrifice my personal privacy for the sake of knowing that if, I don't know, Joe Schmo down the street is having a fucking manic attack and he calls his wife and he's like, I know you're fucking sleeping with him, I'm gonna fucking find you, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and he's like, I'm greasing up the fucking gun now, maybe somebody needs to get involved in that. Because if nobody knows and she thinks he's just crazy and she doesn't say anything, and this dude shows up and kills her, kills the kids, and kills the other guy, kills himself, he can't fucking pay for it, now there's 4 people dead. Like, it just, to me, I feel like if the potential of preventing something like, but again, it has to be acted on, right? You have to act on the intelligence that you have. I feel like that's why I like that show, what was it called? Person of Interest. The concept there was that he had this program that found low-key people of interest, right? It wasn't finding, like,
I think,
high-point targets.
Well, actually it was. It was that...
But it was also finding things that they deemed not actionable.
Well, not important enough for them to act on.
Right,
and
exactly.
So, the creator of the program was like, well, these people, they're people and important, and therefore we should direct some resource to...
Right, because it's one of those things that, like, if, you know, if, to give an example, like, if you have a kid who's about to, like, whose parents are about to fucking divorce, and the dad is gonna fucking be like, if I can't have you, nobody can, and kills the mom, and that scars the kid. Now that kid's a gangbanger, and in 5 years he's killing someone. Mm-hmm. Maybe if we just get involved in that first thing.
Well, then there's the Minority Report factor, which is there's that slim chance that guy's not going to do shit. Like
they explored that way heavier in the show. Mm. There was I think 1 or maybe 2 seasons of the show, and I know in the first episode, like I watched like the first 3 episodes. They were like definitely like expanding into the like, because this was like after they had canceled the whole thing, like after they had shut down the program, but she still had powers, like the main one. She still had precog powers. It was very interesting. It was very kind of like low key and like good, but I'm not against the idea of pre-crime. Like I'm not. I know that there is the potential of it going bad, but I think pre-crime shouldn't necessarily be acted on. But if you have enough intelligence that says, oh, Joe Schlo down the street might kill his wife and kids, maybe we just put a fucking squad car on him.
Well, that's how I feel about it. Like, what I'm against is red flag laws, where it's like, oh, he threatened to kill me, and then, like... Right, we send dudes to your house to kill your dog.
No, that's too much. And like I said, we've talked about this before as well. I think if you were to do red flag laws, there has to be consequences for everybody involved. If you do bullshit fucking call someone and say, oh, you know, I think Bill next door, you know, he's been acting weird, I know he's got guns. Just saying. And you're fucking pranking, or you're just like mad at him because he wouldn't move his car out the way, or he bumped your car and scratched it.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like this is gonna get people killed,
right? Like it's gonna get people killed.
Like the whole swatting thing in gaming, where you know, like they figure out where you live, and then they fucking are like, oh yeah, he's got a gun and he's threatening to kill his kids, and you better get the SWAT team over there. There was a guy that recently was just killed because of that.
Fucking stupid. And that's what I'm saying. But like, did that person face actual like jail time? Because to me, that's manslaughter. You are guilty of that person's death, not intentionally, but you did it.
Well, while we have the computer here, we should look it up. But I think the guy got like 4 years or something like that, and I'm like, that's definitely not enough.
Suspect faces felony charge. This was January last year.
I think that was the one. Or scroll down a little bit.
I'm not gonna say his name, but
20 years for swatting death. Yeah, that's
good.
Justice done. Like,
good. Fuck you. It's not 25 to life, but guess what? You get to live out your formative fucking years in prison because you did some dumb shit. So that's what I'm saying. If they were to enact red flag laws, the person calling has culpability in what comes next. Mm-hmm. Like, there's just no way that you just get to walk away. In a lot of situations, we've talked about this, and I know people are going to feel a type of way about this, but like, it's like women who falsely accuse men of rape. Mm-hmm. Even after it's proven to be not true, that man's life is ruined.
Yeah, just the accusation is enough.
And she maybe gets a fine for filing a false report.
Mm. If that. I mean...
That's it. Like, I don't believe I've ever heard of a woman facing jail time for tying up all those resources for...
Sending an innocent man to jail for a number of years. I mean, because we've... there have been men that...
Look at it this way. Jussie Smollett allegedly... quote unquote, fucking faked an attack on himself and then they like dropped all charges, but he paid $10,000. He donated $10,000 or some shit, and I was like, you don't get a $10,000 fine for a misunderstanding.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't. That's not how being innocent works. You're not innocent, and then you're like, I'm still gonna pay you guys money.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir, you're guilty, and you're trying to wash it away. Like, and it was one of those things where there were a lot of people with that situation. You know who that is?
He's on a TV show.
Yeah, the TV show in Chicago. The whole thing. He's gay. He had this whole thing. He set this whole thing up allegedly that he got attacked by people wearing.
I think it's proven now.
No, technically they dropped charges, so nothing was quote unquote proven.
Well, yeah, so it didn't go to court, just like Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, but he
killed himself.
Yeah, but when you know too much, you know too much. You're going to die.
I mean,
if you know too much, don't ever get caught.
Yeah, like
you at an island. Go live on that island. Do not come back.
Yeah, he has a pedophile island, which is why
I don't know that they were pedophile. I don't think they were underage.
Yeah, they like.
I know they were young, but I don't know. Don't quote me on this. I just don't. I hadn't heard that they were underage. I know it was a whole thing with him, like trying to spread his seed and generate a whole like a generation of kids with his DNA. And I'm like, that sounds like you're trying to encourage incest down the line, because then there's going to be a bunch of kids with your DNA fucking.
It's like Genghis Khan, like.
Yeah.
Like Genghis Khan, like, people have his DNA from, like, all over the world. Like, all over the world, people have his DNA.
That man just, like, was walking around just shooting jizz at women. Like, that's just... There's people in all walks of life, all ethnicities.
Yeah,
like,
that
was an interesting...
I think that was maybe
that was a character.
Like what was on Epstein's mind, but I mean, like there was.
But that doesn't somehow like make the world better. Like, what a fucking idiot. You know what? Listen. Yeah, I'm not sad that he's dead. I'm just sad that he didn't get to out anybody else.
That's what I mean. Is
like, he hung out with way too many people.
Suspiciously committed suicide right before he was about to name names.
Dude. Just like Sandra Bland. Sandra Bland died in custody. Mm-hmm. No, because she definitely was harassed by the police and murdered. Mm-hmm. But just
and then
mysteriously died in custody.
There was this guy in Dallas that just died who was a witness to the case of that ex-police officer that was just convicted of murder. She, like...
Did she got 10 years and a hug?
I don't know.
Where she killed that dude? Where she killed that dude in his apartment?
Yes.
Fuck her. Fuck her.
Yeah. And
have you ever walked into someone else's house and been like, "This must be mine"?
No. Like
I've lived in an apartment, and even if you get off on the wrong floor, there is not a single entryway in this country that looks like anyone else's entryway. There just isn't, because everyone keeps their shit different.
Well, yeah, and that's...
Even if it's pitch fucking black, when you open the door, the light from the hallway lights the entry. If you don't see your shoes, oh fuck, my bad.
Yeah, like I was about to say, I've gone to the wrong door before.
Yeah.
But I've never, like, been like, oh, he's obviously renovated his entire apartment, I'm going to go in here, and... You know, like... Even the smell, I'm
saying,
people's apartments.
And this dude was eating a sandwich or something, so like, should have been like, oh, I smell food. My house was locked. Why am I just walking into this bitch?
And not to mention,
also turns out, I think she was sexting some dude who was married. There's a lot of fucking bullshit around that whole thing. Fuck her.
I don't know all of those details.
Fuck her. I hope she spends her 3 years in prison getting raped.
Never walked into somebody else's house and like not immediately known I was in the wrong place.
I'm telling you, man.
Unless she was like rip roaring drunk.
She wasn't.
Then
nope. She wasn't drunk. She wasn't on drugs. She was sexting some dude, supposedly. Look, like I said, I hope nothing good happens to her in prison. I hope everything bad happens to her in prison. Fuck that bitch. I get the whole forgiveness thing, and I'm not gonna tell the family like how to fucking grieve and deal with that shit. You know, we've all lost someone. We all deal with it differently. I just, from my perspective, fuck that bitch. I hope she rots in hell.
But yeah, a witness in that case was just murdered under
mysteriously
some suspicious.
Mysteriously, it's dumb. It's dumb, man. And like we're supposed to believe none of this shit happens. I don't even know how the fuck we got to this and how we got this far. My point was originally that motherfuckers get to maybe change their opinions after a while. So again, we're judging President Bush. That's where we started with this, by the way. Mm-hmm. We're judging President Bush on his policies and on his opinions from 10 years ago. If that were how we dealt with everything, Hillary Clinton would never have gotten to be president because she said some foul shit in the 90s. And I think she could have won the last election if she had just been like, guys, remember when I said that foul shit? That was some dumb shit. I'm sorry about that. I know better now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you win half the fucking country. Just own your bullshit. Like, that bothered the shit out of me because every time someone brought that shit up, she never owned it. It was always some sort of misdirect, some sort of canned response. It was dumb. It was dumb, and that's. I mean, it's really how. And this is honestly, it's not to say that I want him to stay in power, but that's why Trump is losing as much as he is. Support and public opinion and all this shit, because he keeps trying to bury shit that he did. Like, no, Stormy Daniels never fucking happened. Oh, no, your lawyer didn't pay. He's fired. You're doing a lot of work for some shit that never happened.
Yeah.
Like if it never happened, it sounds like nothing needs to be done. Because you know what guilty people don't do? Anything. Guilty people like guilty people like will fucking hide shit forever. But like innocent people, there's like okay, sure, you say whatever you want to say. I know what happened. And like they will just sit by it. Like if you're not strong enough, and he's definitely not strong enough to sell it forever. Like sell the fake truth, then you need to just own it. Yeah, I fucked that bitch because I'm Donald fucking Trump. I had the money. The bitch was willing to fucking take the money. Let's move on with our lives. Like, I just it wasn't. Now it might have been an illegal transaction. I don't know where they were. I don't remember where that was. But I don't know if sex for money is a thing that's allowed where it happened, but that might be something to consider. But I think if you're a presidential candidate going up, and we had what's her name, Kamala something,
Kamala Harris.
Kamala Harris, yeah, Kamala Harris was on the Breakfast Club, and she was like, "Yeah, I've tried weed before, and I did inhale," and I was like, "Oh, I see that throwback to Bush. I get it. Ha ha."
Actually, that was Bill Clinton.
No, it was Bush.
I'm pretty sure it was Bill Clinton.
Bill Clinton said I didn't inhale?
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I mean, it was
It
was a cute throwback, but I'm like, who cares? It's legal in most places now. Like, that's not even winning you points, but like, good job for owning it. Like, Obama wrote about doing fucking acid in his book before he even fucking announced his running. Like, when you just put your bullshit out there, no one has bullshit to dig up. That's why they had to invent that he wasn't born in the country. And like, not only was it like, oh, he was, no, he wasn't born in, because like, the whole thing was he was born in Hawaii, because they were flying to Hawaii from, I think, from Asia. I forget where they were, but they were flying to Hawaii. She was pregnant, like her water broke on the plane, I think. But like he was born in Hawaii. But like they were trying to say that he was born in Africa. You could have just said he was born in the Philippines. Like, oh, they had to land early. Like, there's flight records. Like, they know they went there. Like, if you wanted to try to make a case, like make a nearby case, not just like he was born on the other side of the planet. No, we know this. Like, oh, okay, so he was born on the other side of the planet. They smuggled him back into America. Nobody noticed the baby as they came off the plane. Like,
oh no, you can hide a newborn baby.
I mean, I'm sure you could.
Like, fresh newborn baby is like much smaller than they seem on television.
Oh no.
Like,
I mean, I'm sure. I'm just saying, like, it's like it's a lot of fucking effort to go through.
Yeah.
Cause like.
Yeah. It's
because I'm sure they were like, he's gonna be president. He's gotta be born in America. I don't think they were thinking about that. I think they were just like, we want to have a baby, and we want to make sure it's healthy. Like, I think if they had to fucking land in the Philippines to make sure it was healthy, they would have just landed in the Philippines, and we wouldn't have had him as the president. Like, I just don't like it. Plus, I think, don't you? And I'm sure, like, if he had been born in the Philippines, there would have. But you do have to be born in America. But I think you get your parents' citizenship regardless. You're born in America because you're born to your parents.
That's how you wind up with dual citizenship. So if you're born to like two American citizens or an American citizen abroad,
right,
you are therefore a citizen of the United States and say France.
Right. But like, yeah, the rules do say born in the U.S. At some point, though, we got to change that. That's got to get amended away.
Well, I mean, it's...
we're going to run out of fucking eligible fucking people that fucking go for it.
Well, eligible people in that power level, which is like, the only good
There's
thing...
plenty of fucking people that are here, that are born here, but like, do we want them to go there?
Yeah, I mean...
we're already scraping the barrel right now.
It's getting to the point where, like... If you're going to be in politics, your name is Kennedy, Bush, Clinton.
Kind of seems like it.
Because, I mean, like...
Although, Jeb, he's so precious.
Yeah, he tries.
The best moment of any election, any campaign, was him. He was in his home fucking state in Florida, and he's doing this speech, and he pauses, and he's like, please clap. And I was just like, bro, that's rough. That's rough. And it was a room of like 40 people. It's not like they didn't hear him. Like, he just like, sunk his shoulders. He's like, please clap.
I don't remember seeing that. But,
it's the best moment of any election campaign, dude.
I tend to stay out of politics.
It's too much. It's too much. I'm really focused on local. Like, I'm really, really heavily focused on local because you have a lot of shit that needs to get done locally before you can get... I feel like a lot of people want shit... They want a top-down solution, and for most things, you cannot have a top-down solution. Police brutality is a problem. It's a major fucking problem.
Well, yeah, that's got to
no presidential order is going to fucking change that. You could say some shit, but by the time it reaches the streets...
When...
it's like trickle-down economics. It doesn't work.
Exactly. Like, trickle-down justice doesn't fucking work.
No, you have to start locally. That's why, everyone keeps bringing it up, and no one keeps, giving it the credit and the validation it needs. Las Vegas did a retraining program, and their police... what the fuck are they called? They're the reports of police brutality and their shootings by police went down by 30%. This isn't like a small 2-3% change. 30%. A 30% change in anything in any direction is major. Of anything. You lose 30% of weight. You lost a lot of weight. It was just a crazy, crazy thing, and people, they're like, oh, but it wouldn't work here, and it wouldn't work here, and it wouldn't.
Why not?
Why the fuck not?
My uncle is a cop in El Paso, Texas, and they had the training,
right?
And my family, everybody sees a white guy, but I'm a half Mexican. We've never had a problem with it because my dad's a white guy that married a Mexican woman,
right?
And, we just don't fucking care about the color of your skin,
right?
So he didn't feel he needed the training because he's grown up around Mexican, he's got Mexican friends,
right? Oh, this is from the short side.
Yeah, my white guy side, but But he was like, but there was a definite improvement in other officers that had,
and that's what's up.
Had that kind of enlightenment before. So
and exactly that's all it is.
Good thing.
Enlightenment. That's the best word for it. I heard this story where they were talking about the Muslim ban, and there was a guy, I forget who it was. This is like a friend of someone who Erica knows, and they were saying like they hadn't thought about it. They hadn't even had an opinion on the whole Muslim ban and the travel ban or whatever the fuck they wanted to call it. And until one day they were talking to a coworker, friend of theirs, like they work with them every day, and they were like, "Oh, I might be leaving soon." And they were like, "Why?" "Well, I have to go back for my visa, but then if they're gonna keep the ban in place, I can't come back." And it was like, then it was close to home. It was personal. Like he knows this person. He knows this person's not anything dangerous or whatever. So then it was like a matter of now it mattered to him. So like enlightenment, I think, is a great word for it. You might have people who grew up not racist, but just the way shit is presented on TV and the news, you get unconscious bias is a real fucking thing. Like no matter how much people don't want it to be, like it is a real fucking thing. You feel a type of way because of how shit has been presented to you. You might not think about it. It might just be an instinctive thing. Like, it just, the people that are constantly fighting against it are ridiculous. Like, I don't know. Let's switch topics real quick here. We don't have much time left here because we have a limited time frame because we're hitting dinner. We're getting some torches tonight, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and some Mexican people, your people's food.
Yep.
And see, elsewhere that joke might be like, "What the fuck?" But that's not what it actually is. So like, context and intent, like those things matter. Let's talk about Crisis. Now, are you caught up at all on any of the CW shows?
No.
So that's why we're gonna go on this very, very briefly. You watched Smallville, right? Did you watch all of Smallville?
Yes, I saw all of Smallville.
So to give you a quick rundown of season 11, this is the comic book, this is the series. It picks up about 6 months later. He gets a new suit. It's awesome. I love it. The art was actually really, for the most part, well done. That they still kind of kept their features, so you felt like it was Tom Welling Superman. And it was very well done. He meets Batman. Batman's really cool. Nightwing is Barbara Gordon. She's awesome. She's a fucking badass. So when Tess Mercer stabbed Luthor and then he stabbed her to death, the virus she infected him with to wipe his mind so that he would forget Clark is the Blur, it transferred her consciousness into him. And then eventually they pulled her consciousness out, and she became Watchtower because Chloe got pregnant, and they moved to Seattle. It's very cool. They never get married, not during the season 11 anyway. They're like Lois calls him her forever fiance because they're like too busy. Like he's fucking Superman, and she's Lois fucking Lane. Like she's always doing shit. So there's that, but then they eventually had their own Crisis. And the reason I bring all this up is the director, the creator, I think it was, I always forget their names, but the main dude that runs the shows, the CW shows, said that they are considering, they don't know that they're going to have like a panel, like a specific panel reference, like, remember that time that one thing happened? Because they dealt with, monitors before. They had a crisis. The monitors caused that crisis. So what I'm hoping for is something. A little like he's untrustworthy of the monitor because of their previous experiences. Right? That's my thought. My thought is I just want like a quick little like nod to season 11 having happened. Obviously, if he shows up in costume, easy. That's an easy, okay.
Yeah.
That's also, season 11 is the best Supergirl costume of all time. It was badass. The one weird thing was that it weirdly did have like an open back thing under the jacket cape thing. But other than that, like it was a full body suit.
Well,
pants.
that might be because You've never seen the movie Goldfinger, have you?
No.
James Bond. Okay, well, like women that do like the full body paint,
Right.
like Gamora in Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. Your skin actually breathes, and so you have to leave a patch of skin open in order for oxygen to permeate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Otherwise, you can suffocate. It can kill you.
Very interesting. Okay.
And so, like, the first time I'd ever seen it mentioned was in the movie Goldfinger because
she was
completely covered in gold paint.
Right.
They didn't have that bare spot to promote.
I see what you're saying. That makes sense.
So,
but yeah, this is the costume.
If it's
fucking bad. It's like very Neo-like. She's got like almost like a trench coat bottom instead of a full cape.
If it's a very like rubber.
But yeah, see, she's got like the back kind of like triangle up top, and then like the lower back is open. That makes sense though. That makes sense.
So if it is a very like rubber clingy suit that doesn't breathe, then that might be because of that, like.
I see what you're saying.
And they incorporated that into the costume.
I'm just super psyched that on the comment on the new show, on the new season of Supergirl, she's got a new costume. She's got pants. Because it never made any fucking sense to wear a goddamn skirt. Because you're flying. That's my thought anyway. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a girl. Maybe it's not that revealing, but feels like it would be, at least in some ways.
Like if it were me and like I were to fly in a kilt, I would probably be wearing some boxer shorts.
I'm saying this is one of my favorite shots. So this is him in that Smallville Superman costume, Tom Welling, and it looks really good. Like I'm a big fan of that costume. It's got the traditional blue, but then it just has that like smaller dark blue patch on the sides. It's a good design. Like I'm just a big fan of the costume. The Batman was really cool. Like he was just really quick friends with him. He was he's not like as dark and like brooding as many Batmans have been. Like even he felt like he fit into that universe like way better than like fucking Christian Bale's Batman would have. You know, like that mentality kind of Batman.
Well, yeah, the like outwardly hostile to just about everybody. Batman.
Really, yeah. Swear to me, like that's not that Batman. Although he did do a voice thing, and they did it in the comic with like different bubbles, and it was outstanding. But yeah, I'm hoping that they do that as a like a little nod. Just like what I was really hoping for is like when they come to them and they're like, "Hey, are you Clark and Lois?" And they're like, "Yeah." And she just looks at us like, another crisis. Just like she's dealt with this already.
We've done this
like so many fucking times now. Like, so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for like because during their crisis, her and Clark did like a little dimension hop. So she's like, oh, I guess we get to see some more universes. Awesome. Like something. Yeah. No, not since you left.
Something Lois-esque.
Yeah, something Lois-esque. That's what I'm really hoping for. But that activity in the background means that it is time for dinner. It's time for some tacos and tortas and all that kind of stuff. The tequila's kicking in for me. How about you?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good.
It's Taco Tuesday. We're going to get our eat on, and that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We will see you in the next one.
Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications.
It's fucking good.